A very good afternoon and welcome to NTV News. I'm Siksha Sharma. Let's take a look into the headlines first. Prime Minister says he proposed the Indian side to work seriously to resolve misunderstandings on border issues, terms power trade deal with India as historic. Soaring temperature forces closure of schools in Tarai. Mercury rises to as much as 42 degrees in some districts. US Congress endorses a bipartisan debt deal averting a trade default. President Biden to sign the measure into law. And BRICS foreign ministers call for rebalancing of global order away from the West. Allegations of Russian war crimes cloud the talks. Welcome back to NTV News. Taking a look into news in detail now. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who is on a 4-day official visit to India, has said that his India visit has become historic. Talking to journalists from Nepal in New Delhi earlier this morning, the Prime Minister said that there has been a breakthrough in energy trade, adding that crucial achievements have been obtained for the development of hydroelectricity sector. The Prime Minister shared important foundation has been readied for investment in hydropower sector, adding a significant agreement has been inked to export Nepal's electricity to Bangladesh. Likewise, Prime Minister Dahal said that bilateral agreement has been made to prepare a DPR within 3 months for the advancement of Pancheshwar multipurpose project. Prime Minister Dahal added agreements on a range of issues have been forced after one-on-one meetings with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Dahal also shared that the Indian side has expressed its commitment to resolve the border issues for the first time. Dahal said that he proposed the Indian side to work seriously to resolve the misunderstandings related to border issues. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dahal has reached Indore of Madhya Pradesh from New Delhi via special aircraft. Prime Minister Dahal is scheduled to visit the Mahakaleshwar temple at Ujjain this afternoon. Likewise, the Prime Minister is scheduled to meet the Governor of Madhya Pradesh, Mangubhai C. Patel. In Indore, the Prime Minister is scheduled to visit best practices of solid waste management carried out by Indore Municipal Corporation. Later in the evening, the Prime Minister is scheduled to attend a dinner hosted by Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, in honor of Prime Minister Dahal. Likewise, the Prime Minister will visit TCS Infosys Special Economic Zone on Saturday. The Prime Minister is scheduled to return home tomorrow. India has granted clearance for the operation of Instrument Landing System ILS at the Gautam Buddha International Airport in Bhairahava. Prime Minister Dahal shared this during the press meet after bilateral and delegation level talks held with his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi on Thursday. Though the ILS was installed at Gautam Buddha International Airport, it has not come into operation since long. General Manager of the airport, Hamsaraj Pandey, said the aircrafts can land in any weather based on instrument-based landing, with the system coming into operation. Earlier, the aircrafts used to cancel their flights in hazy and foggy weather when the system installation was not permitted from the Indian side due to closed Nepal-India border. In normal condition, it requires 1500-meter visibility for the aircrafts for landing, but with the new system in place, aircrafts can make their landing in 800-meter visibility. The Gautam Buddha International Airport has come into operation since last year. And let's take a look into a short break here. More news follows up next. To stay with us. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other developments. The main opposition, CPA and EML, is holding its secretariat meet today. The meeting being held at the party headquarters in Chasa, Lalitpur, is discussing contemporary issues and division of work and responsibilities among the central members, according to EML Publicity Department Head Prithvi Subagurung. The party has already decided to extend its Mission Grassroots campaign and mobilize its central members for 1 more year. The party has a 19-member secretariat. Among them, Secretary Tobadurai Mazi is under suspension due to his alleged involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam. A rise in mercury level has affected normal lives in many parts of the country, with the districts of Tarai reeling under scorching heat of as many as 42 degrees Celsius. This has forced schools of Jhapa, Morang, Sunsari and Saptari to suspend school classes for some days. With weather badly affected due to excessive heat in the recent days, the community and private students are at the receiving end as the schools in Saptari, 2 local levels are closed due to soaring temperature. Temperature in the districts of Tarai has sharply increased in the past 1 week. Children and senior citizens are facing health issues after the rise in temperature lately. The Nagdhunga Mugling Road project has started the expansion and upgradation of 39-kilometer long Mugling-Malekhu road section. Project Chief Kiran Karki informed the construction of the 5 kilometers road is taking place in the first phase. As per the contract agreement, 17 kilometers road would be upgraded towards Chitwan district and 22 kilometers in Thading. It is learned the road will have 4 to 6 lanes in the market areas, along with footpath, road dividers and electric poles. 10 overhead bridges would also be constructed in Malekhu, Sheetal Bazar, Benighat, Bishaltar, Machitar, Fisling, Kurintar, Levatar, Ramailu Dada and Mugling. The road is being built with the financial assistance of the World Bank. And let's take a look into yet another break. Stay with us for the international updates. Welcome back to NTV News. Towards other developments in the international front, where the U.S. Congress has approved a deal to lift the country's borrowing limit days before the world's largest economy is due to default on its debt. The bipartisan measure sped through the Senate by a vote of 63 to 36, a day after it cleared the U.S. House of Representatives. President Joe Biden has said he will enact the measure into law. His signature on the bill will spare the U.S. from a catastrophic default on its $31.4 trillion debt. The country is forecast to overshoot its current debt ceiling on Monday, 5 of June. A meeting of foreign ministers of the BRICS group of nations in South Africa has called for a rebalancing of the global order away from Western nations. South African Foreign Minister Naledi Pandor said the group's vision was to provide global leadership in a world fractured by geopolitical tensions, inequality and global insecurity. BRICS is an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. Allegations of Russian war crimes in Ukraine have clouded the talks. The International Criminal Court (ICC) has issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin over the allegations, and as a member of the court, South Africa would be obliged to arrest him if he attends a BRICS summit scheduled for Johannesburg in August. Mexican authorities have found 45 bags containing a human remains in a ravine outside the western city of Guadalajara. Officials were searching for 7 young call center workers who had been reported missing last week when they found the bodies. The remains include men and women, and the number of bodies is not yet known. The search is expected to continue for several days because of difficult terrain and poor lighting. A quick look into the highlights of what's coming up next. Elon Musk has reclaimed his title as the world's richest person, knocking the boss of luxury goods giant LMVH, Bernard Arnault, off the top spot. His net worth has soared by $55.3 billion since January to $192 billion after a rise in the value of his electric car company Tesla. Arnault's fortune has fallen by $24.5 billion to $187 billion per Bloomberg's Billionaires Index. He is followed by Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates in the 3rd and 4th positions. Time for sports update. Defending champion Iga Swiatek and Wimbledon winner Elena Rybakina underlined their title credentials with straight-set wins at the French Open. Polish world number 1 Swiatek, seeking a 3rd title in 4 years at Roland Garros, defeated American Claire Liu 6-4, 6-0 to reach the 3rd round. She will play China's Wang Xiyu next. Kazakhstan's Rybakina will next play Spain's Sara Sorribes Tormo in the last 32. In men's draw, fourth seed Casper Ruud moved into the French Open third round with a 4-set victory over Italy's Giulio Zippieri. The Norwegian 24 was in control early on, and after being forced into a fourth set, he rallied to secure a 6-3, 6-2, 4-6, 7-5 win. Ruud is chasing a first Grand Slam title after losing in the finals at the US Open and Roland Garros last year. He will next face Zhang Jisen of China in the next round. And this brings us to the end of the bulletin. To wrap up, a quick reminder of the top stories. Prime Minister says he's proposed the Indian side to work seriously to resolve misunderstandings on border issues, terms power trade deal with India as historic. Soaring temperature forces closure of schools in Tarai. Mercury rises to as much as 42 degrees in some districts. U.S. Congress endorses a bipartisan debt deal averting a trade default. President Biden to sign the measure into law. And BRICS foreign ministers call for rebalancing of global order away from the West. Allegations of Russian war crimes cloud the talks. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead. Namaste.